Hello and welcome to this brief overview of Sitecore. You're probably aware that in today's marketplace it's increasingly important to provide more context and be more relevant to the audience you serve. People are moving seamlessly from their desktop to their mobile, they're expecting more personalization, they expect to be understood. And this means you need to understand the behavioral profile data as well as the location, timing and device that people are using. So demand is growing for this single integrated platform to deliver that personalization. Sitecore's single integrated platform approach means you can manage all of your web, mobile, social, email experiences. You can manage the content, digital assets, analytics, the workflow, as well as the database, and if needed, integration to other systems to enhance the customer experience. Okay, so let's spend the next few minutes taking a look at some of the capabilities in Sitecore. Okay, so here we are on a completely fictitious website, and the first thing to note is that Sitecore is an object-based system. This means that content can be repurposed at different locations around the site or indeed onto other websites, and you can also track the performance of that content. Sitecore allows you to set up personalized experiences, and this is really useful, for instance, if people are searching to arrive at your brand or website. And in this case, rather than taking the user to a generic homepage, because they've searched on a specific brand name, we've taken them directly to a piece of content relevant to them. Our little widget here is highlighting the interest that the visitor is expressing around the site. Now, at the moment, it's fairly even, but as we click around different parts of a particular brand, so this is an individual very focused on the Surface product, you can see that the shift has now moved towards Surface and away from some of the other potential areas. Now, let's say I started expressing interest in other parts of the site, so perhaps I was less of a business user, more of a consumer, focused on games. So here I am clicking around a number of different games that I'm particularly interested in, and that's going to change the propensity, and this is just reflecting what's going on in the background. So now I seem to be far more interested in Xbox. So when I go back to the home page, you'll notice that I've now got far more engaging content that's been surfaced, available to me in context, but it's the same home page. So this is a very exciting way of using the system to get that personalization in place. Now again, if I go back and I start clicking around, looking at different products, specifically the Surface product, you'll notice that the propensity is starting to change. So let's click around a little bit more, and when I then go back to the home page, you'll see the propensity is moving far more down the Surface route, and so it's back to the Surface content. So my behavior is driving the content that's displayed to me, and this is enabling that in-context experience far more personalized to my needs. We've now moved to the administration area where I can manage content. I've got an email marketing capability, I can do A/B and multivariate testing, I've got a marketing control panel, I've got a path analyzer to look at the navigation that people are moving through, there's a whole analytics suite. But if we start in the marketing control panel, the ability to set goals, and goals are effectively interactions that convert on the website. I can apply scores to each of these. So I might have a lower level score for downloading a case study and a higher level score perhaps for completing a callback form. So goals can form part of an engagement plan, and engagement plans can be set up to orchestrate those customer journeys through the site. And here I've got states, conditions and actions in a nice graphical palette that allow me to move people logically through a process and perhaps update their profile information at the far end of that process. I can also define specific outcomes, which could be simply identification or indeed a purchase, and this can form part of your ROI for the site. The Path Analyzer is a visual representation of your site, and in particular the most visited pages around the site, and these are highlighted by color codes. This also gives you an indication of the most valuable parts of the site. So this can drive your content authors, helping you focus on the most valuable areas and enhancing those, and where appropriate, perhaps looking at those optimization candidates, areas of weakness in the site that could be improved. Within the content editing, there's also the ability to edit specific experiences. So here you can do on-page editing and define specific rules that then drive content. So here, for instance, on the home page, there may be a specific set of criteria or a condition that you want to apply that dictates the content that is exposed in a particular circumstance. And the great thing about this is there's a rule set editor that enables you to do this. And this has a whole set of different parameters. You'll notice it's very much like the Outlook Rules Manager, but you can be very specific about detail that you include for the criteria that drive the content. And this can be driven by a whole range of things, from historic transaction information through to the current session activity and behaviors, or indeed a specific geolocation. There's a whole range of different parameters that you can set to drive the specific content that is exposed to that individual. So this could be time and date specific, it could be specific to a particular country, an engagement path, or perhaps to some assets they've downloaded. And then based on that set of criteria, you can define the content that you want to expose. This is very powerful personalization to help improve that experience for the visitor to the site and provide that context. You can see we've now moved to the analytics area, where I can define specific date ranges and view reports in a nice graphical fashion. Here we can look at not only the number of visits that we're achieving, but actually the value of those visits. And this is driven by the interaction with content on the site against which you have scores. So this is giving you far better perspective on the visits rather than simply numbers. I can also look at conversions and how that stacks up over time. And I can also look at the performance of specific pieces of content or goals by this nice graphical interface. Okay, let's wrap things up with a quick summary of Sitecore's capabilities. It's obviously responsive to work on mobile devices. It has those very powerful analytics that we were looking at earlier. It offers something called federated experience, so you can track content on other websites outside of Sitecore. There's a web to print experience manager, so your content from the asset library can feed into print. There's a whole e-commerce capability. Email marketing is obviously a standard part of the system, and this can extend to nurturing. So if you have specific nurture campaigns around those engagement plans, you can post things out to your various social networks and have all of that moving through. It's very easy to use, as you've seen. You can store specific content, contact data, and indeed integrate from other systems. You can view which paths are delivering most value around the system, and all of that is feeding into those analytics that we were looking at earlier. A little bit about Profound, our organization. So we are a digital agency, we're a systems integrator, and we're a .NET development house, so we provide a lot of custom applications and mobile apps as well. We're a gold partner with Microsoft, and obviously we're a Sitecore partner. If you're looking to improve any of your digital business outcomes, do get in touch or come and visit us at the website, which is profound.works. Thank you.